Okay, so I saw this lady online on the street of social media celebrating celibacy, and one may wonder what happens to your body when you decide to be sexually inactive for a very long time. A lot of persons have taken the oath of celibacy, that is, deliberately abstaining from sexual intercourse, while others who are previously sexually active can decide to abstain from sexual intercourse for a length of time for reasons best known to them. Now you might wonder what happens to your body if you abstain from sexual intercourse for a while, for a long time, let's say 6 months, 24 months. What happens to your body? Do you regain your virginity? What happens to your body system? So, this and many more we are going to talk about in this video. Hello and welcome to Treasured Health Space. My name is Onyechi Linda. I'm a registered nurse midwife. On this channel, we'll talk about everything health and women's health, most especially. If this looks like the kind of content you would like, click on that subscribe button, like this video, and leave a comment. So let's dive right in. A lot of women use different contraceptives, otherwise known as family planning, to prevent pregnancy. If you've chosen to stay away from sexual intercourse, what should happen to the contraceptive you are using? Should you continue? Should you discontinue? We all know that the primary reason why people use contraceptives is to prevent pregnancy. So if you've decided to stay away from intercourse for an extended period of time, there will be no need for you to continue using contraceptives. You need to remove it. Your cycle returns to normal after a while. And one may ask, what about STIs, UTI, urinary tract infection, sexually transmitted disease? Do you still stand a chance of contracting them? Now, if you're not sexually active, the risk of STI and UTI tends to decrease because you're not involved with anyone. Yes, even though when you are sexually active, you tend to shower after the act and all. So if you're not sexually active, generally the risk of STI and UTI tend to decrease. What about your virginity? Does it return? Do you gain secondary virginity? We all know that to be a virgin means the person still have the hymen intact. Now the hymen can be broken through sexual intercourse or bike riding. If you've been sexually active before and you decide to stop having sex for a long time, you don't regain your virginity, but what happens, however, is that the vaginal wall thins out. It becomes less elastic and thinner, which might ultimately lead to resistance anytime you decide to resume intercourse after an extended period of time. Also, when you decide to abstain from sexual intercourse for a while, there is this build-up of sexual tension and frustration in you. What happens to your libido? Does it increase? Does it decrease? Now, if you're a woman, your libido might not necessarily increase. Know that the body have a way of putting to sleep anything that you're not putting into use. So over time, your libido becomes redundant. It goes to sleep because obviously you are not having any sexual attraction or you're not engaging in any sexual activity. But however, for the men, you know that a lot of men are moved by sight. So over time, when they see some things, they could get sexual arousal, unlike women that are mechanical, more like mechanical, that needs to be stimulated through touch and all. So your libido remains high at the initial period, but over time it becomes redundant because you are sexually inactive. What happens to your ovaries? Do you continue releasing egg? Do you continue ovulating? As long as you're not on any contraceptives, you continue releasing egg each month. It keeps depleting and reducing in number till you get to menopause. What about your menstrual cycle? What happens to your cycle if you're not having sex? Nothing. Your menstrual cycle simply continues. As long as you're not on any contraceptives, you have your menses every month. So your cycle is not influenced by sex. It continues whether or not you have sex. Some women tend to have stress incontinence when they abstain from sexual intercourse for a very long time. Stress incontinence simply means losing some amount of urine anytime you cough or do anything that increases pressure around your lower abdomen. So if you've decided to abstain from sexual intercourse for a while, you need to do your Kegel exercise. How do you do this exercise? You do it by contracting your pelvic floor muscle. Like when you're urinating in the middle of the midstream, while you are yet to fully empty your bladder, you can stop the flow of the urine for, let's say, some seconds or minutes, then release it and empty your bladder fully. Now you're not to do this when you are urinating, but for you to understand better, that is what I mean. That is how it is done. You can also do yoga exercises. It's going to help you exercise your pelvic floor muscle and help solve the problem of stress incontinence. And what if you decide to resume sexual intercourse? What do you expect? There's not much expectation beside the fact that you're going to take a longer time to get ready. For someone who is sexually active, your body is almost in a state of readiness. It just needs a little touch and stimulation. But if you abstain for a very long time, you're going to need a longer time for foreplay. Your body is going to take a much longer time to get ready to release the necessary fluids needed for lubrication, and you're going to take longer time to reach orgasm. And of course, there is going to be some resistance because the vaginal wall is no longer that elastic. The elasticity has reduced and it tends to thin out. So your partner, yourself, you're going to feel some resistance. And that is what makes some people tend to think that when they abstain from intercourse for a very long time, that they regain their virginity. Now, if you like this content, don't forget to subscribe, like this video, leave a comment, and share it. Share with me in the comment section what happened to your body when you abstained from sensual intercourse, and for how long did you stay away from sexual intercourse.